Ladies and gentlemen, this is my biggest secret to success. And no, it's not luck. It's not talent. It's not privilege. The biggest secret is how you think, how you commit, and how much pain you are willing to endure for a future nobody else can yet see. Look at the people who change the world. They don't follow the crowd. They don't wait for permission. They don't ask, has this been done before? They ask, why can't it be done now? The moment you stop copying and start thinking from the ground up, everything changes. Most people build their lives by recycling old ideas, old fears, and old limitations. But real success begins when you tear everything down to its fundamentals and rebuild from truth, not assumptions. Let me share with you the biggest secret to success, and it starts with how you think. Not what you know, not where you come from, not who supports you, but how deeply and honestly you think. Most people live their entire lives inside ideas they never questioned. They inherit beliefs, limits, and rules from society, family, culture, and fear. They accept the world as it is presented to them. But real success begins the moment you stop copying the thinking of others and start breaking things down to their most basic truth. From the time we are young, we are taught to follow examples. We are told, this is how it's done, this is how it has always been, and this is impossible, because no one has done it before. That kind of thinking is comfortable, but it is deadly to innovation. If you build your life by analogy, you will only ever reach where others have already gone. You might improve something slightly, but you will never transform anything. True progress comes when you question everything and rebuild from the ground up. Thinking from first principles means stripping away assumptions. It means asking, what do I know for sure, instead of what do people say is true. Most people argue from tradition. They defend limits they did not create. They repeat beliefs they never tested. But success belongs to those who are willing to challenge even the most accepted ideas and say, prove it to me. When you reduce a problem to its fundamentals, suddenly the impossible starts to look solvable. What once felt too expensive, too complex, or too risky becomes a puzzle instead of a wall. Instead of asking, how do others do this? You ask, what is this really made of? Instead of asking, why is this so hard? You ask, what is actually stopping me? This shift in thinking changes everything. Most people wait for permission to dream big. First principle thinkers give themselves permission. They don't need validation from the crowd. They don't need approval from people who are scared to try. They trust logic over opinion and truth over comfort. And that courage, to stand alone in your thinking, is one of the rarest and most valuable skills in the world. This way of thinking is not easy. It forces you to confront uncertainty. It removes the safety net of everyone else agrees with me. When you think independently, you carry the weight of your decisions alone. But that weight is also power, because when your success comes, it belongs to you completely. First principle thinking also demands humility. You must accept that much of what you believe could be wrong. You must be willing to say, I don't know, and then do the work to find out. Ego hates this, comfort resists this, but growth requires it. The moment you stop protecting old beliefs, you create space for new breakthroughs. Look around at the world. The biggest changes never came from people who followed the rules perfectly. They came from people who questioned the rules themselves, not out of rebellion, but out of curiosity. They asked better questions. They refused lazy answers. They dug deeper when others stopped. In your own life, this mindset is just as powerful. Instead of saying, I can't succeed because of my background, ask, what skills actually create success? Instead of saying, I don't have enough resources, ask, what is the minimum I truly need to start? Instead of saying, this will take too long, ask, what is the fastest path if I remove fear from the equation? When you think this way, excuses collapse, limits shrink, responsibility increases, and that responsibility is the birthplace of power. Because now, your future is not controlled by tradition or trends. It is controlled by your ability to think clearly and act boldly. This mindset turns problems into opportunities and pressure into fuel. It allows you to see paths where others see dead ends. It teaches you to build instead of complain, to create instead of compare, to lead instead of follow. Success does not reward those who memorize the map. It rewards those who understand the terrain. and understanding comes from first principles, from truth, from logic, from fearless thinking. When you adopt this way of thinking, you are no longer limited by how the world has always worked. You become part of how the world changes. Let me reveal another powerful truth about success, a truth that most people completely misunderstand. Success is not built by chasing status, applause, or money. It is built by becoming obsessed with solving real problems. Not imaginary problems, not trendy problems. Real problems that matter, problems that cause pain, inefficiency, loss, or limitation in the world. When you dedicate your life to solving those problems, success follows you whether you chase it or not. Most people wake up every day thinking, what can I get? Successful people wake up thinking, what can I fix? That single shift in focus separates consumers from creators, employees from builders, followers from leaders. The world does not reward intention, it rewards usefulness, and usefulness is born from problem solving. Money is not the goal, money is the scoreboard. It simply measures how much value you have created for others. When people make money their main obsession, they usually fail, because money does not inspire long-term endurance. The moment things get hard, motivation collapses. But when you are obsessed with solving a problem you deeply care about, pain becomes tolerable, stress becomes meaningful, long hours become purposeful. Real problems are uncomfortable. They don't have clean answers. They resist easy solutions. That's why most people avoid them. It's easier to complain, to distract yourself, to chase quick rewards. But the people who change industries and shape the future lean into complexity. They are not afraid to sit with a problem longer than others. They are willing to look stupid while learning. They are willing to fail repeatedly in pursuit of progress. When you focus on solving real problems, your ego disappears. It's no longer about how smart you look or how fast you win. It's about what works. You test, you build, you break, you rebuild. You don't fall in love with your ideas. You fall in love with the mission. And if your idea fails, you let it go without regret because the problem still matters more than your pride. The world is full of people trying to look successful. Very few are trying to be useful. But usefulness compounds. If you solve one meaningful problem, you earn trust. If you solve many, you earn influence. If you solve problems no one else is brave enough to touch, you earn impact that lasts beyond your lifetime. Problem solvers don't wait for perfect conditions. They work with what exists and improve it step by step. They don't say someone should fix this. They say, why not me? That sense of responsibility is rare, and rarity is valuable. When you take ownership of problems others ignore, you position yourself where opportunity naturally flows. Obsession is important here. Casual interest will never be enough. Real problems push back. They drain energy, they test patience. Without obsession, you quit the moment results slow down. Obsession keeps you going when logic says stop. Obsession is what makes you read when others sleep, experiment when others relax, and persist when others move on. And understand this, solving real problems often means being misunderstood. People will question your focus. They will say you're wasting time, that it's too big, too risky, too unrealistic. But history never remembers the critics. It remembers the builders. It remembers those who refuse to accept broken systems as permanent. In your own life, this mindset is just as powerful. Stop asking, what job pays the most? And start asking, what problem can I solve better than most? Stop asking, how can I get ahead faster? And start asking, how can I make something better? When your value grows, opportunities chase you. Problem solving sharpens your mind. It forces you to learn across disciplines. It builds resilience. It teaches patience. And most importantly, it gives your work meaning. Meaning is fuel. Meaning keeps you moving when motivation fades. The future belongs to those who are builders at heart. People who see inefficiency and feel compelled to fix it. People who look at broken systems and imagine better ones. People who are not satisfied with how things are, because they can clearly see how things could be. This is the secret most people overlook. Don't chase success. Chase problems worth solving. If you do that relentlessly, intelligently, and honestly, success becomes unavoidable. Another cornerstone of success, one that most people either ignore or misunderstand, is the idea of extreme ownership and responsibility. This is the mindset that separates ordinary people from those who achieve extraordinary results. It's not enough to work hard, to have talent, or to be lucky. Real success comes to those who refuse to blame circumstances, other people, or the world for their failures, and instead take full responsibility for everything in their life, their decisions, and their outcomes. Many people go through life thinking that someone else is in control of their fate. They blame bosses for their failures, blame the economy for their struggles, blame friends or family for not supporting them. They complain about systems, luck, and timing. The truth is that as long as you are looking outward for excuses, you are giving away your power. You are allowing factors outside of yourself to dictate your results. And when you do that, you are forever at the mercy of circumstances you cannot control. Extreme ownership means no excuses. It means no pointing fingers. It means fully accepting that if your life is not where you want it to be, the responsibility lies with you. That does not mean you are at fault for every misfortune. It means that you are in control of your response. You are in control of your effort, your focus, your learning, and your persistence. The moment you internalize this truth, everything changes. You stop waiting for permission, for approval, for easier circumstances. You start acting, you start solving, you start moving forward with power. When you take full responsibility for your life, you gain clarity. Suddenly, every failure is no longer a judgment, it is data. Every setback is no longer a punishment, it is feedback. Every criticism is no longer an attack, it is information. You begin to see patterns, opportunities, and lessons where before there were only obstacles. The world stops being a set of random events happening to you and starts becoming a series of challenges to master. Extreme ownership also requires courage. It is easy to blame others because that is socially acceptable and comfortable. It is easier to complain, to justify, to rationalize, and to let your circumstances define you. But courage comes in the form of saying, "This is my responsibility. This is my life. I will own it." And when you make that decision, you gain control over everything within your reach. That control is rare, and rarity is valuable. People who practice extreme ownership become leaders, not because they demand authority, but because others see that they take responsibility when no one else will. Another aspect of this mindset is accountability. Extreme ownership means holding yourself accountable even when no one else is watching. It is doing the work even when it is hard. It is correcting mistakes without being told. It is pushing boundaries without needing validation. Many people wait for rewards, recognition, or approval to motivate their efforts. But true achievers internalize accountability. Their drive is self-generated because they understand that their results are entirely on them. This mindset also encourages proactive thinking. When you stop blaming and start owning, you stop reacting and start creating. You no longer wait for circumstances to improve. You no longer wait for a better boss, a better economy, or a better opportunity. You ask yourself, what can I do right now to move forward? What can I control? What can I improve? And with every action you take, you are building momentum, skill, and confidence. Extreme ownership also transforms relationships. Leaders who embrace this mindset do not pass blame onto their teams. They take responsibility for their group's failures and successes. They coach instead of criticize. They solve instead of complain, and they lead by example. This earns respect in ways that titles and authority never can. People are naturally drawn to those who take responsibility because they feel safe following someone who owns their mistakes and solutions alike. And let us be honest, life will never be fair. Obstacles, setbacks, and challenges will appear regardless of your talent, effort, or intention. Those who practice extreme ownership do not wait for fairness. They do not hope for luck. They adapt, pivot, and continue. They do not allow injustice or misfortune to define their trajectory. Instead, they define their own trajectory through relentless ownership of their actions, decisions, and mindset. In your personal life, this principle is transformative. Stop blaming your environment for your failures. Stop blaming others for your lack of progress. Stop blaming circumstances for why your dreams are delayed. Look in the mirror and ask, what can I do differently? What can I improve? What responsibility am I avoiding? The answers to these questions are always more powerful than any external advice. They are the gateway to taking control of your life and achieving results that others consider impossible. Extreme ownership is not a one-time decision. It is a practice. It is a daily commitment to take full responsibility, to act decisively, and to learn constantly. It means holding yourself to higher standards than anyone else expects from you. It means showing up, even when tired, even when discouraged, even when nobody notices. Because ultimately, your life is your responsibility, your success is your creation, and your results are your legacy. When you embrace extreme ownership, life stops being about luck, timing, or circumstance. It starts being about you, your thinking, your effort, your focus, and your commitment. And when you internalize this mindset fully, you will find that no challenge is too big, no obstacle too permanent, and no dream too far. The moment you own everything in your life, you take the first step toward achieving everything you ever imagined. Another critical principle of achieving extraordinary success is the ability to maintain a long-term vision over short-term comfort. Most people live their lives in pursuit of immediate satisfaction. They chase quick wins, instant approval, fast money, and short-term pleasures, believing that success is measured by immediate results. But anyone who has truly achieved greatness, anyone who has changed industries, societies, even the world, understands that the biggest rewards are never instant. They require patience, endurance, and a relentless focus on the long-term outcome, even when the short-term path is uncomfortable, uncertain, or lonely. The temptation of short-term comfort is powerful. Our brains are wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure, which is why most people abandon their dreams the moment obstacles appear. They quit because the process is uncomfortable. They settle because it is easier than continuing. They compromise because the rewards of discipline, hard work, and perseverance are invisible at first. But this is the exact reason why the majority of people never reach their potential. They trade extraordinary futures for fleeting comfort today. Those who achieve greatness operate differently. They embrace discomfort as a necessary tool for growth. They understand that real progress is rarely linear and rarely painless. Long-term vision means looking beyond the immediate frustrations, beyond the failures, beyond the doubts, and keeping your eyes fixed on the ultimate goal. It is the ability to endure months or years of hard work without seeing significant results, knowing that every effort compounds and every sacrifice is an investment in your future. A long-term vision also requires clarity. You cannot pursue what you cannot clearly see. Successful people define their goals with precision, not just in vague terms like, "I want to be rich," or "I want to be successful." They articulate exactly what success looks like, why it matters, and what it will take to achieve it. This clarity allows them to make decisions every day that align with their ultimate vision, rather than being swayed by short-term distractions or temporary pleasures. When temptation appears, they ask themselves, "Will this action bring me closer to my long-term goal, or just satisfy my immediate desires?" Most people answer incorrectly and derail themselves. Successful individuals answer with discipline and foresight. Maintaining a long-term vision also requires resilience in the face of setbacks. The path to greatness is never smooth. Failures, disappointments, criticism, and rejection are inevitable. Those who are focused only on short-term results give up as soon as they encounter resistance. But those who operate with a long-term mindset see failure as temporary and situational. They understand that setbacks are not signals to quit, but opportunities to learn, pivot, and continue moving forward. Every small step, every lesson learned, every adjustment compounds over time to create momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. One of the most dangerous enemies of long-term thinking is instant gratification. Social media, modern consumer culture, and the fast pace of information have made it harder than ever for people to focus on the future. We are constantly bombarded with signals that make us want immediate recognition, quick rewards, and fast solutions. But success is never built on shortcuts. It is built on patience, persistence, and a willingness to endure effort that is invisible to others. The people who win in the long run are the ones who can delay gratification consistently, day after day, month after month, year after year, without losing motivation. Long-term vision also requires strategic thinking. It is not enough to simply endure. You must also plan and anticipate. You must look at your life, your career, your business, or your mission like a chessboard. You must see beyond the immediate moves and understand the consequences of every action over time. Every decision should be evaluated in terms of its long-term impact, not just its immediate convenience. This ability to prioritize the future over the present is what separates ordinary people from visionaries who leave lasting legacies. Another element of long-term vision is sacrifice. To pursue what matters most, you must be willing to say no to distractions, comfort, and the easy path. This might mean giving up social approval, delaying leisure, or taking on challenges that others avoid. Sacrifice is never glamorous, and it often goes unnoticed. But those willing to endure the discomfort today position themselves to reap rewards tomorrow that others cannot even imagine. The greatest successes in history were never achieved by those seeking comfort. They were achieved by those willing to sacrifice daily for a vision bigger than themselves. Long-term vision also builds trust and credibility. People who consistently think and act with the future in mind inspire confidence. They are reliable because they do not chase fads or panic at the first obstacle. Investors, partners, teams, and followers are naturally drawn to people who can endure the long journey and maintain a steady course, even when results are not immediate. This creates opportunities and influence that cannot be bought or forced. It must be earned through consistent long-term commitment. In your own life, adopting a long-term mindset transforms every choice you make. Instead of choosing the easy path that gives temporary satisfaction, you start asking, will this bring me closer to my ultimate goal? Instead of being discouraged by temporary setbacks, you begin to see them as small hurdles that sharpen your skills and refine your approach. Instead of being swayed by trends, opinions, or immediate rewards, you anchor yourself in a clear vision that guides every decision and action. Ultimately, the power of long-term vision is that it allows you to endure what others cannot, to persevere when others quit, and to achieve what most consider impossible. It transforms patience into a superpower, sacrifice into progress, and persistence into results. The moment you learn to value long-term outcomes over short-term comfort, you step onto a path where extraordinary success is no longer a matter of luck or chance, but a natural consequence of your consistent focus, effort, and vision.